Hello, investigators, and here we are with Cthulhu Death May Die, the fully unboxed video out here in front of you. We're going to go over all the components in Haster, Cthulhu, a game by Rob DeVoe and Eric M. Lang.
Yeah, so welcome investigators to the unboxed video for Cthulhu Death May Die by Cool Mini or Not. I just got my pledge rewards in the mail over the weekend, and I would like to show you what is inside the box. A lot of content. This is just the base game. A lot of my stretch goal boxes and some of the add-on bonus stuff that I decided to grab. I also, in my previous video that I showed the arrival of the giant Cthulhu statue gameplay bigature. And that is part of this game as well. But we'll look at the contents, and please follow along. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. All right, so going over the components. So rulebook. All right, rulebook, a total of 19 pages. Standard, excellent layout by Cool Mini or Not for getting players into their games. I'm kind of used to Fantasy Flight games to where they give you the two rule books, one rule book to get you started, and another rule book to, it's almost sort of a glossary format. Everything's labeled labeled in alphabetical order, kind of organized in there for rules reference, and then the other rule book that they have. But standard, Cool Mini or Not, rule book. Still excellent layout altogether. Artwork layered throughout, so nothing different there. And then your standard kind of summary on the back of the rulebook. All right, and then you've got your storyboard. So this is used in every game of Cthulhu Death May Die. And you have your track up here, your progress. Your Elder one that you choose will start here. As Mythos cards come out in the game, it'll tell you to advance the Elder one along the track. Once the Elder gets to the red markings here, a marker will replace that Elder one, and then the Elder one itself will go out on the board, and then you'll progress all the way to the end. So you get your Elder One stage cards to go over here, and his cards come in his individual box. So you've got Cthulhu back there, and then Haster, and then all the other expansions that you might have gotten with the Stretch Goals box, the Season 2 if you decided to get that, and then the Black Goat is one of the Elder ones that you can choose. The episode itself card, again, will come inside the episode boxes, so we'll kind of talk how you decide to choose one of the episode boxes matched with one of the Elder ones to make your overall game. And then your Elder One minions cards, the ones that come with that Elder One, and then the episode monsters. So again, things that come inside the episode box and then things that come inside the Elder One box. All right, now we'll take a quick look at all these tiles. There is a total of 17 of these tiles, and you probably compare this game in the CMON library to the Other's Seven Sins, where the Other Seven Sins was sort of square tiles that you lay out and then go out on your missions. These actually have different size tiles, so I guess you could compare it a little bit to Fantasy Flight's Mansions of Madness for the way that the tiles lay out to give you the overall gameplay space. So you've got, when you make your board, and it'll be spelled out for you in the episode of how to lay it out, you've got your spaces, you've got your walls, and then you've got these arrows that point to how you make a passage or take a passage between those two spaces. But again, they are all double-sided. And the cool thing about this version of a Cthulhu game, again, I'm primarily used to Fantasy Flight's Arkham Horror series. I have all their Arkham Horror file games, so I'm kind of used to those style of Mansions of Madness adventures. But these are different shaped tiles, which is kind of cool. The ones in Fantasy Flight are different size, but they're usually either rectangular or they're kind of squared off. But kind of having the different shapes makes your game board look a little bit different. And you can see kind of down here at the in different spots of the tile it'll mark. So I think they don't necessarily, these are kind of hard to maybe find and read. Not impossible, but I think just based on the shape of the tile would be pretty easy to find out which ones go where. They are extremely nice artwork. I'll be unboxing all the season boxes too, so definitely some spoilers coming up. So if you don't want to know what's inside those season boxes, I'll let you know when that's about to happen. And then I'll also show how easily this game reboxes. There are a ton of unboxing videos showing the contents of the game, but there's not a lot of videos that show you how well the game goes back in the box. And you know, there are few companies out there that do a good job of making games that go back in their boxes well. But they do a really good job with this one to get your components back in the box and back into another game. Alright, insanity cards. So as you start your game, every character is going to randomly draw one of these. They're going to have this insanity card that sticks with them throughout the entire game. And as you your insanity threshold goes up on your character boards, which we'll show you later, these will actually trigger. And again, I've sleeved my cards. You don't necessarily need to sleeve your cards, so I apologize for a little bit of the glare that's flashing there as I go through each one of these. But during the Kickstarter campaign, they added, I believe, 4 of these cards, but you have a total of 12 of these in the game. Alright, so those are your insanity cards. These are your level 1 skill tokens. Marksman, again, double-sided, but primarily with the same content on the front and the back. Yeah, we already talked about the progress token. Then you got the start token. So primarily where the characters start on the game board. You've got 3 different colored gates, and these colored gates show where enemies spawn from. You've got a tunnel token and a staircase token, knowing when you're going up and down in level. Alright, and then you have the individually player color of choice tentacle tokens. These are exactly the same molds from the game The Other 7 Sins. Those were green, all colored green, and these are for player colors. And then you put these on your player boards, and then track how your skills level up, and then your sanity, your wounds, and then your overall tracks there. So which we'll see shortly. All right, that is the quick re-boxing layout for your characters, so you can see exactly where they're supposed to go inside the container, which these containers very nice for being able to get the game back in the box. You've got your wound tokens and then fire tokens, and then these are in denominations of 3, the larger, and then the single wound tokens there. And you've got your die, so you've got 2 colors. You've got your standard die for making your skill checks, and then as you, we'll look at the character boards here later, but as you start to get bonuses, as your insanity level goes up, you'll get these bonus die. So you've got successes, you've got elder signs, and then you've got on the standard die, you've got the tentacles, and then so you've got sort of a tentacle and a success there. But these will come as your insanity level goes up, and we'll look at those here shortly on the investigator boards. All right, so your character boards. So a quick rundown of what's on the character board. So you've got your character art, you've got your stress level, you've got your wounds as you go and take wounds, you've got your turn order. The turn order is the same for every character board. Then you've got your insanity track, and then each individual spot here is your insanity threshold. When you hit these insanity thresholds, a couple things happen. You'll either get a extra die, your bonus die to add to your die pool when you roll. When you hit this, your insanity card will activate, and also you get to level up one of your base skills that are down here. So again, you got your skills down here on your right side, and then you got your skill level tracks as they level up. And you can see you're going to be able to level up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So obviously not each one of these. And there might be other things in the game that allow you to level up your skills. And as you start to get stronger, it makes the game a little bit easier for you. And then over here on the left and right side, you've got discovery cards. So depending on whether or not you take an item, a condition, a companion, it'll slide in to show that you've claimed it. And if you got the Kickstarter with all the stretch goals, then you also got those plastic, sort of hard plastic sleeves, I guess you could call them, for your player boards to keep them protected, and also to allow, as you move the board around, some of these tokens don't kind of fidget around to lose track. So kind of your tokens here will go on the board and then move along the track, and you'll get one of these for each space there and then up here. And as that track moves along, your game progresses. All right, so you got Sister Beth, Adam, Rasputin, Elizabeth, Fatima, Ahmed, Borden, Ian, like I really need to read all these names for you, the Kid, Morgan, and then on the opposite side you've got their character art, their name, sort of their quote, and then a little bit of story about them. My iPhone is actually recognizing the faces and trying to zoom in on the or focus on the faces. These full color art will be great for painting the figures later, if you decide to go the way that the artist's rendition was. All right, and then the episode boxes. Okay, I'm not going through these right now. I will go through these at a later portion of the video, and I'll let you know, hey, we're about to go into spoilers, and then you can stop the video so that you don't spoil any of the episode content. So I'm just going to show you the front of the box of each of the episodes, and these come, again, they're all fully kind of contained, so you won't get anything spoiled for you. So you just pull out the episode that you want and then take out the contents. So episode 1, episode 2, Tombs of Madness, episode 3, Dance Macabre, episode 4, Eldritch Idols, episode 5, A Cursed Tide, and then the final episode, episode 6, The Unspeakable Hour. So as I said before, when you start a mission, when you start a season, when you start an episode, you're going to pick a episode, and then you're going to pick a elder one to go with it. And then the contents within those will have what your mission is, or what your gameplay session is for that day, for that gameplay. So you've got Cthulhu, and you've got Hastur. Just a sleeve, which I'll show you at the end of the video on reboxing. All right, so you've got cultists and deep ones. I like these trays. They're very easy to take out, very easy to put back in. And it makes getting into gameplay much faster. It also gets a lot faster putting everything back in the box. So I'll take out one of each of these and then do a little spin around. All right, so you got the Haunting Horrors and Bayakis. So you got your Fire Vampires. And you got your Chthonian and Shoggoth. That's probably the noise that you would hear if one of these actually summoned. Fire trucks and emergency vehicles, public service trying to save the civilians that are fearful and horrified by what has just transpired in their town, in the city of Arkham. All right, and finally you've got all the investigators. Got Ahmed. Borden. Going to try to get sort of the way that the art is shown and then the way the final mold was conducted. Get in the name, get in their location, get in their quote. Try to get in as much as I can there. Ian. The Kid. John Morgan. Fatima. Elizabeth. Rasputin. Adam. Sister Beth. Okay, so we talked about how great this game goes back in the box, and Cool Mini or Not has done a good job on helping players put stuff back in their box with the Zombie Side. Zombie Side started to put these indicators like on the inside border of the box or on the boxes that actually held all the miniatures to kind of show you how everything goes back in there. And they did that with this for the investigators. They didn't do that for each individual monster or minions, but they did a fairly good job of making it pretty simple, I think, for finding out where they go. But the way that they laid it out, you can get everything back in the box after you've punched all the boards and all the tokens out. So what I do, and I don't know if this is their intention, to put this stuff here in this way. I'm sure they meant to put some tokens, but which well you decide to put all the tokens in, I'm not 100% sure. But I put all my health tokens in here. I put my tunnel tokens, my starter token, the staircase and the gates, and then again I think I already said the fire tokens. I put all those smaller tokens in this well here. That leaves me plenty of space to take sleeved insanity cards and just put them right on top, and that leaves plenty of space. I mean, give a little bit of a shake with your tokens so that they kind of find a good level spot, and then those cards can go right on top, and that leaves plenty of space for the top to go back on. Now the good thing about this entire setup tray is that you can put this back in here if you so choose. That's where it came packaged, but I just like leaving it out, and I'll put it maybe on top of here. It won't fit inside this because of these two finger holds here, and that's something that you kind of have to consider. Now what I do with these is I put all the colored pieces for the players into this well, give it a little bit of a shake, and then I take my progress token and I'll place that down there. I'll take 2 of the level 1 tokens, place them all the way to the right, place another 2 tokens all the way to the left to give it a nice level space, and just kind of, you don't have to press them in there too hard. They will slide in there, and then I'll put 2 of those up at the top. Now that leaves me a perfect amount of space and clearance for the 8 die to fit right down there. And then again, all these kind of just stack on top of each other. So I'll take this tray, stacks on top of all those, then this tray stacks on top of all of those, and there you go. And then that will go in the box with everything else. Now I was talking about that sleeve. Now, as you're taking this one in and out of the box, this is just, now it does have a long and a short. Make sure the long is the part that's standing up, and then that part goes over all 3 of them, and then leaving your 2 finger holds here so you can literally just pick the whole thing up with your 2 fingers when you're taking it in and out of the box, and I'll show you that right now. Alright, so here's how I like to load my stuff back into the box. So this is a reboxing video, and it's done fairly well because of the way that Cool Mini or Not gave us these nice tuck boxes. You can just pick and choose the scenario or season, episode, and the elder one that you want to choose. So then you've got this sort of quick finger hold system here, and that just kind of slides right into there. All right, and then you've got sort of a well right here, and I'll try to get you sort of a look at there. You've got a little bit of a step down here, so don't forget about this space. And what I do with that space is I take these 4 identically sized and shaped tiles, and I place those right in there, and that is a perfect fit for those, and it's level with the Elder One boxes. Then you've got sort of these nested trays for the monsters. That goes right in here. And again, this is almost exactly how it comes boxed, at least for these parts that you see here. The sleeves come, these cards kind of come inside. There's a well right here. But in that well, I usually put like the starter token there sometimes, but there's a little space there. Nothing really fits in it very well, but there is a well there if you wanted to use it for one of the other types of tokens, if you want to do something different than I am. All right, so for putting everything else back inside there, so what I like to do, I'll take the storyboard and I'll put it face down right on top of there so that I sort of have another layer of, haha, this is Cthulhu Death May Die. And I always put rulebook on top for my games when I'm reboxing them. So if I need to grab that and quickly go into the rules, I'm there. All right, so then when I put the tiles back on, I put one of the large tiles up in the corner, and then I put the next largest tile right there on there with it. And then you've got these 5 identically sized and shaped tiles. And I just put those, you can put them either on this side or this side, but I put them up against the edge of the box. And then you've got these 3 sort of similarly sized but not same shapes. And this guy right here, I just throw on top of all the other ones. And then these 2 ones go down there. This square, smaller shaped guy perfectly fits there, which makes it level with the larger board that I put in the beginning. And then this circular tile can go right in there, and it kind of sits there nice and level. And then this square or L-shaped one can either go there, you can put it up there. It doesn't really matter, but this one right here is level with this guy over here. So when you put your character investigator boards, those fit there. And they're still probably, I would say, 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/16 of an inch. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to measure it, but it's definitely not sliding out of the box. And then you've got this, which you could put anywhere. You could put it on top of the investigator's spot there, or put it nested in that tray. And then I put the rule book as my final piece right on top. And there's still, you can kind of see how I'm still hitting the edges of the boxes, so it's not sliding out. So I'm not over packaged to where when I put the final topping on this board. And I just want to kind of mention this. God, I keep forgetting what they call that. His eyes are, they're not. I keep wanting to call it IR, but they put that nice coating on it to where it gives it a nice shine. And that is the reboxing video of Cthulhu Death May Die. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to go right into the spoiler unboxing of all the episodes and the Elder ones. So if you don't want to see that, now's the time to turn the video off. So spoiler, 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 warning, warning, warning. Now's the time we go into episodes and Elder ones. Thanks for watching, guys, and then stay tuned for the spoilers. All right, I think that covers everything that was inside the box. Thank you for watching up to this point. If you don't want to be spoiled by the contents in the season boxes or the Cthulhu and Haster box, then this would be the time to go ahead and stop the video, and I'll check you guys on the next one. I'll be unboxing the Unspeakable box, the Black Goat. I'll be taking a closer look at some of this content that is in Season 2 as well. Again, that's going to be a big spoiler-heavy one. But from this point on, it's going to be spoiler-heavy, so warning, warning, warning. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. This would be the time to stop the video. All right, so let's jump into Episode 1. All right, so on the back of the box, you can see Blasphemous Alchemy. This is Season 1, Episode 1. You can see the sort of the primer text there. You can see you have your episode cards, your monster cards, your mythos cards, which half of them are in the season box and the other half is inside the elder boxes. And you'll mix those together. You have the discovery cards, which the investigators can claim, and then you have unique tokens. Now, fire tokens are in the base game that you can see back in here. So all the tokens that are here that you saw are going to be used in every game. So they're common items. And then the stuff that you get out of the box is unique to that specific episodes. But they add a bunch of fire tokens to this one, so you're probably going to be encountering a lot of fire. And I'm going to talk about these tuck boxes really quick. So tuck boxes, great. They let you contain everything that's in an episode, but my concern has always been, can I get the content that's inside the box back in the box and have it fit well when I sleeve cards? So I've only done this for the first episode, so if that works for all the episodes, then we'll see. And then also, I'm going to take a quick look at how you open these boxes. I've done a quick trim on these. So if we go over to episode 6, I haven't done the trimming on this one. If you end up trying to open this, for me, every one of my boxes did this. If I'm trying to open from here, sometimes I can get 2 fingers to try to open it. But if you do this, you're going to end up probably doing like this, trying to get this thing open, and it ends up crimping it. So sometimes you can get in there and go to the corners and try to slide them out. I don't want to have to do that every time I want to do an episode. So will I be doing an episode multiple times in a play session? Who knows? So what I do with my boxes is, you can see how this one I've already opened, and I've already gone through the contents of it, but I have trimmed off these tabs that are here on the edge. So these tabs right here, I've cut off of the box, and it just makes, when putting the contents back and getting the contents in and out, it's enough to keep it in there, and you can see the contents aren't going to fall out immediately. It does sort of start to slide over, but when it's fully in the box, and I'll show that at the end of the video, it'll all be held in, so there's no concern there. All right, so let's take a quick look at the contents. So you've got your episode card, and then how the episode is set up, what kind of enemies you're going to be facing, where the tokens go, stairs, where those unique tokens go, how the board's laid out, and the overall conditions, victory, the unique minions that are going to be coming out. I was short one sleeve for this particular Mythos card, but I use Fantasy Flight green packs. I just call them green because the top of the packaging has a coloring scheme categorization. So, and I apologize for the massive glare because of the sleeves that I use, but you can kind of see here what each of those Mythos cards looks like in episode 1. I'm going to go through these relatively quickly, just kind of give you a basic idea. And again, you shuffle these with the Mythos cards that come out of the Elder One boxes. So here are your unique lab tokens. Had one upside down. Missed one there. You have a bunch of extra fire tokens. And then you have your discovery cards. Now the discovery cards either give you a item, a condition, or a companion. See, there's a companion there. And then reboxing it. So I had that one card that I wasn't able to sleeve in this episode. So what I do when I repackage everything, because it all fits back inside there, I take and I put these 2 cards in first so that they get on the other side of this tab. You can kind of see at the very end of the box, you've got this other tab that sits in there, and these just sort of help guide everything in later. So I put these in first, and that way they're sitting on top of that tab that's on the back of this tuck box, so that when I slide in other cards, they don't get stuck on that tab. All right, so then I take the discovery cards, and I'll slide those in right on top, and then I'll leave a little bit of the discovery cards out so that when I come in with the Mythos cards, again, there's some air still left in these sleeves because I literally just sleeved them, so you're not going to have that issue with trying to get it all in there once the air goes out of the cards. So you can see those fit in there nicely. So these lab tokens, I'll just slide right there and just make sure they sit flush. For the fire tokens, I make two roughly equal stacks, and then those will slide in right there. Try not to get them stacking on top of the other tokens that are in there. All right, so kind of like that. And then take your other stack of fire tokens. They slide right in there. And then you've got this one extra guy that I'll just put right there in with the... and you can pretty much get that stuff in there. And if you need to kind of shake the box a little bit, and then your tab goes in, so it fits nice and snug. There's room in there even with sleeved cards, so that was good. All right, episode 2. All right, I'm not going to do that whole, hey, here's how it goes back in the box. Know that there's a possibility of getting your stuff back in the box after they're sleeved. All right, so this is Tombs of Madness, episode 2. You've got your scenario, your episode setup, minions for that episode. You have these randomized forbidden knowledge tokens. They are double-sided. You're going to flip those over. And you have your Tome of Madness. Again, double-sided. And then discovery cards. I don't have these cards sleeved. And I'm not necessarily really spoiling it for myself because I'm just doing this for you guys. I'm not trying to commit to memory anything that I'm seeing. I'm going through it relatively quickly. You guys can pause on any of these if you want to read through them. But I'm not going to remember what's I'm probably going to remember maybe the tokens, like, oh, I'm going to have Tomes of Madness, and I'm going to have these Forbidden Knowledge tokens in this episode, but exactly what it is that I'm going to encounter, likely not going to remember that at all. And Dance Macabre, Season 1, Episode 3. Contents. Alright, so I found it a little bit easier to use this tray right here as I'm holding things so they don't slide up out of my hand. Alright, so you've got ball goer tokens, and then you've got, you flip them over and it might be a dancer, you'll flip it over and it might be a sorcerer, and there is a sorcerer. I was hoping I didn't have to flip over too many of them. And then you have these two zone tags that come with the episode. Double-sided, but say the same thing on both sides. And you have your minions. And the episode. And setup. Mythos cards for season 1, episode 3. Again, you can pause these wherever you feel necessary. And the discovery cards. And episode 4, Eldritch Idols. Contents. Alright, so here we've got artifacts. There's 4 of those. They are double-sided. Flip them over. They'll tell you what you get. You've got 4 guards. They are double-sided, but they're the same on both sides. Flip all those over. Then you have 1 zone tag, and then a sarcophagus. And the Mythos cards. Setup card. And then the episode. Minions. Discovery cards. And there are 15 discovery cards in every episode. Accursed Tide, Season 1, Episode 5. Contents within. Then you've got specific elders. Not elder ones, but elders. So then you've got, these are double-sided, and as I try to flip a couple of these over to give you 2 differences. So you've got a marsh elder, an Allen elder. You see how they're kind of a dark color for the marsh and then a light color for the Allen. And then you've got your standard zone tags. The episode. And its setup. Minions. Mythos cards. Fresh cards still slightly sticking together. They've been compressed in that shrink wrap. And discovery cards. And again, just pause the video if you'd like to read any of it. Try to give a second pause, so if you do pause, it's not a blurred motion. the final episode for Season 1, Episode 6, Unspeakable Hour. Contents on the inside. You have the episode. I'm going to show you a quick token right now. One of the 3 types of tokens that come in here. So you'll have this small moon-shaped token, which will kind of rotate around so you know what phase you're in. I guess you can consider it double-sided. It's got the same thing on both sides. And it's set up. Minions that you're going to encounter. It's Mythos cards. And discovery cards. And lastly, the tokens. So the other one I showed was the moon phase tracker, which was on the episode card, and then you have the moonlight, and then shadow side on the other side of the token, and then you have the zone tag. And again, all the zone tags are double-sided, just say the same thing on both sides. All right, now take a look at Cthulhu. Shows you it's Season 1, Box 8, I guess. There's its contents. Take a look at the miniatures first. So, almost identical to the large miniature. Maybe his hand poses are slightly different for the larger miniature compared to the smaller one. But, you know, the overall design of Cthulhu is the same for this miniature compared to the large miniature. That's Cthulhu. And then you have a star spawn. Okay, then you have the relay tokens. They're double-sided, but the same art on both sides. There's 9 of those. Then you have his stage cards. Stage 1. Stage 2. Stage 3. And then the final stage. You have the minions that will come in that scenario. That episode, or I say episode versus scenario, but those are the ones that you decide on, and it kind of combines with the episode boxes, which then get plugged onto the storyboard. All right, these are the Mythos cards that you'll add to the other cards within the episode boxes, so you can see the amazing amount of combinations that you can have. I actually don't know where I forgot to mark one of the cards, forgot where I started on this, so if I go through them multiple times, I apologize. All right. And within the box, you can kind of see how the trays hold the miniatures, and then there's a little spot here for the tokens, and then your cards have a nice little well inside here to fit into. And I believe even these Mythos cards could be sleeved and still put in there, and just kind of slide some of the sleeved cards over to the left and right, and everything fits in there nicely. Right back into the box. Alright, now we'll take a look at Haster. Contents inside. Okay, we'll take a look at the miniatures first. So we'll look at Haster. I think Haster is by far one of my favorite, is my favorite Elder one in the core box, possibly in the entire game. And then we're going to look at the disciples. There's 4 disciples, all have the same mold. Same mold, but same pose. You have 12 of these Elder Sign tokens. They are double-sided, but the artwork is the same on both sides. Alright, Haster's stage cards. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, and final stage. The minions that you'll have with this Elder one, and the Mythos cards, and this time I'm going to tag the card I've already shown you so that I don't repeat any, because I'm not trying to memorize them myself, as I've said before. While I may be spoiling maybe some of the token, I don't necessarily know what they do yet for me, so I'm not spoiling it necessarily for me. I may be spoiling it for you as you read through these and pause to read how the game gets set up. And again, just like Cthulhu's box, there's a lid that goes on top. Nice well here to hold on to the tokens and your cards. There's a nice well there to hold on to the cards. And then your Mythos cards. Maybe when they're sleeved they will pop up, but you see you have a little bit of space there for reboxing.